Hey, everybody. This lesson is about the reflective narrative, which is the essay that you're going to be writing when you take your ACT test. In case you didn't know, you'll come to Pinkston the end of April and you'll be taking your ACT test here on campus. So, in the next few slides, you're going to analyze the reflective narratives that were written by some sixth grade students. Scores from this narrative can range from a score of a 0 to a 6. A 0 means that the essay was not answered, that it's blank. 6 is the best possible response that you can get. So this was the prompt that was given. It says you're going to write a reflective narrative. Think about the first time you experienced a new food. Where were you? What food was it? How did trying this new food affect the way you think about trying new things? Write a story to show what it was like to try something new for the first time and reflect on what you learned about trying new foods. Be sure to use descriptive details to show what this experience means to you. Right here in this top box, this is a sample essay that was written by a sixth grader. As you can see, they received a score of a 1, which is very low. This is not an essay. It's 1 to 2 sentences, so in no way did they answer the prompt. Here at the bottom, it explains to you why they received a score of a 1. It says the response demonstrates little understanding of the task. For development, there is a minimal response. It's undeveloped. There's no reflection. For organization, the response shows virtually no evidence of organization. And for language, the response demonstrates little or no ability to convey meaning. So as you can see, this is why it received a score of a 1. This is the same prompt. This essay received a score of 2. And you can tell that this is a little bit more developed. But she says, one time I tried roast beef for the first time in my life. When I first tried it, I thought it was nasty until, as I keep reading, you're going to notice that there is not any punctuation in this essay. This is one huge long sentence and never a period is ever used. Also, there are different mistakes, not capitalizing I. The word first is spelled wrong. So this has a lot of language usage mistakes. It says for the score of a 2 here that it's rudimentary, which means the reflection on the experience or on the meaning of the experience is unclear. Her development was weak. The elements of a story are reported rather than described. Organization is also rudimentary. The logic of the story may be unclear. And language, word choice is also rudimentary. It's very vague. This is a score of a 3. Have you ever tried a new food? I have, and it was so good. I was in Florida on a Disney cruise trip. We were sitting in the restaurant, and the waiter brought a big plate of which I thought was chicken strips. My dad told my siblings and I to try one, so we did. Little did we know afterward, my dad would tell us it was actually alligator tail. It tasted so much like chicken, I actually believed it was at first. I don't hesitate anymore to try new things. So if you've never tried a new food, you should. There are so many types of food in this world, you'll never know what you'll like if you don't try new things. Now, this essay response is better. However, this student, again, did not write an essay. This is one paragraph. For your essay that you write, you're going to be expected to do 5 paragraphs, which is what we have been doing this year. So you'll need an introduction paragraph, you'll need your 3 body paragraphs, and you'll need a conclusion paragraph. So you can read here yourself why this is a score of a 3. Okay, this one is much better here. This is a score of a 4. Now, as you can see by looking, this person does have better organization. There are 3 separate paragraphs here. For the score, it says the response is appropriate to the task and presents an adequate reflective narrative. The narrative demonstrates recognition of the significance of the event by reflecting both on the experience and on its meaning. For development, the narrative is adequately developed through conveyance of action, sensory details, and character. The reflection on the experiences and its meaning is mostly supported through description and explanation. For organization, the response exhibits a clear organization structure. And for language, the response demonstrates precise word choice. Okay, this is a score of 5. So as we can see here, this person has an introduction, and then they have 2 body paragraphs and a conclusion. So as you can see, there is way more detail in this essay than any that we've looked at so far. This person did explain how they've tried many new foods. It's, as you can see over here with the grade, it says it's engaging with the task. It presents a capable, reflective narrative. The narrative conveys the significance of the event. For development, the narrative is capably developed through purposeful conveyance of action. Again, the organization is much better. So overall, this is much better than what we've looked at so far. And then finally, here's a score of 6. This is the best score that you can get. Now, this is in 2 parts. So the first part's here on the left, and then their last paragraph is here on the right. Now, this person did not put a space between each paragraph to separate out. So like, look at this one. We can easily see this person press their enter key. They separated out their paragraphs, whereas this one they didn't, and that's fine. As long as we can tell that there's a beginning to a story, there's a middle to the story, and there's an end. You don't have to separate your paragraphs, but your story does have to flow from beginning, middle to end. And so this last piece here is going to show you why that one received a score of a 6. It says the response critically engages with the task and presents an effective reflective narrative. The narrative conveys the significance of the event through insightful reflection on the experience. For development, the narrative is effectively developed through a skillful conveyance of action. The reflection on the experience and its meaning is well supported through effective description and explanation. Although there is a slight digression, the response exhibits a purposeful organizational structure. For language, the response demonstrates the ability to effectively convey meaning with clarity. Word choice is precise. Sentence structure are varied and clear. Voice and tone are appropriate for the narrative purpose and are maintained throughout the response. So let's talk a little bit right here about sentence structure. I'm going to go back to that essay. So if you'll notice, there are different sentence structures within this essay. And what I mean by that is that some of her sentences begin with periods. As we go on down a little bit further here, I do see that she is using some complex sentences. Right here's a complex sentence with a comma. She's also got an exclamation mark here for a variety of sentences. Here, we've got quotation marks. So we've got some dialogue in here with a question mark. As we keep looking a little bit further, we've got some more dialogue, another exclamation mark. So the things that are going to get you guys up to a score of 6 is completely answer the total question. Give many, many, many details to explain your answer. Give a variety of different sentences, just like this person did. Add dialogue where characters are talking. Check for spelling mistakes, capital letter mistakes. Make sure that you have complete sentences. So this is a very well developed essay. And this is what you guys will be expected to do in order to get yourself a score of 6 also.